Hi, this is Julie with Health Freedom Idaho. Today I read a Facebook comment that I want to share with you. It got me a little riled up. It said, martial law? Idaho? It can't be true. The media would have told us. They wouldn't, and we are. Under martial law, that is. I didn't want to believe it either. I always envisioned martial law as tanks moving down residential neighborhoods. I imagined it was militarized police terrorizing families. Certainly, my Idaho isn't under martial law. That's not what this looks like. The governor allowed the people to protest on the Capitol steps numerous times. Certainly under martial law, he would have had all 1,300 men, women, and children arrested. I was there. There was only 2 police officers, and they were busy chatting with each other. They could care less about the speakers and the signs and the sidearms. The governor allowed some businesses to open up without arrests. He threatened only those businesses he deemed unessential with removing their licenses and warrants for information on the patrons who chose to support these violating businesses. He chose to turn a blind eye to the city of Nampa, who allowed their unessential businesses to open prior to the governor's edict. Certainly, under martial law, he would have hammered down on that city mayor and forced compliance. Certainly, under martial law, the governor wouldn't have opened the churches sooner than his phase dictated, right? Rumor has it, a couple churches never even closed, and he didn't require that the police storm their sanctuaries and arrest those people. Do you see what's going on here? He has granted himself all power and all authority to do whatever he pleases. He provides a little crumb here and there to appease people into compliance. You know, there's a folktale that says Stalin once ripped all the feathers off a live chicken as a lesson to his followers. He then set that chicken on the floor a short distance away. The chicken was bloodied and suffering immensely, and yet Stalin tossed it a bit of wheat, and the chicken followed him around. You know what I feel like we are? Naked chickens. First, it was 14 days to flatten the curve. And then it was an initial emergency order that would last 60 days. We were told to just be safe at home. And now we're under a code that is listed martial law, and it has no expiration date. Behind the scenes, laws are being suspended. Changes are happening under the guise of an emergency. Rules that were approved by the legislature as a means to protect parents, children, the elderly, and the vulnerable no longer have to be followed. Meanwhile, Governor Little is adding an army of individuals to his payroll to track down people, invade their privacy, demand testing and quarantine for a sickness that doesn't carry a risk for most of the population under 60. Did you know that the CDC contact tracer manual encourages the health department to determine how these 255 new contact tracers will respond to a non-compliant family? Why has no one asked at the press conferences what will these contact tracers be required to do if a family chooses not to comply with the questioning, the testing, or the quarantine? Are these paid government individuals to report the private citizen to the government for non-compliance? And what will the consequences be for these families? And why are we not asking the most important question? Why couldn't the governor reconvene the legislature, conduct the response to this crisis, utilizing our constitutional republic? And now that the crisis appears to be resolved, does he not reconvene the legislature to determine how to allocate the funds that he's acquired. Soviet leader Joseph Stalin, who statistically murdered 40,000 of his own people every single week of his reign, said that he ripped the feathers off that live chicken to demonstrate to his followers how easy it was to govern stupid people. Let's not be stupid, people. Let's see this for what it is. It's a power grab. We are living under a dictatorship, under the illusion of an emergency. We demand our representative form of government back. And that means that our legislators need to get back into session. On June 23rd, we are at our 90th day. This is how we undo what has been done. Our legislators need to get into session to put an end to the emergency declaration, to take back the power the governor granted for himself. The legislator must properly reallocate the funds that the federal government granted the state. And they must reinstate all the suspended sections of Idaho Code and all the suspended sections of the IDAPA administrative rules. We, the people, we must email, write, call, Facebook message, text the legislators, all of them, and demand that they get us back our representative form of government. And we also must tell friends and family, 5 friends, 10 friends, 15 friends, as many friends as you possibly can, and tell them to do the same. This is how we defend liberty in Idaho. It's now or never.